Growing up, I've always had a clean bill of health, never really even a headache. Only went to hospital for the confinement of my children. So yes, very, very healthy. Once a year though, I would visit my gynecologist for just a yearly checkup. And this particular year she asked me, when last have you had a mammogram? And I said to her, I've never really had one of those. I didn't think that I ever needed a mammogram. There were no symptoms of any cancer as far as my breasts were concerned. They looked well, they felt well, there was no pain. And she prompted me to go. And she said, if you don't want to go for yourself, why won't you go for me? And I decided to go. And it was a blessing in disguise, because when I went for my mammogram, there was something suspect, and a biopsy, it was followed by a biopsy, and to my detriment, the diagnosis was a cancer. I remember sitting in the doctor's rooms that day. He opened my file, he looked at my file, he looked up straight at me, and he said to me, Mrs. Damons, you have breast cancer. And my whole world just came to an end. It felt as if the wind was taken from my sails, and it felt as if the rug had been pulled out under my feet. And I thought to myself, where now? What now? Why me? All the questions. I sat there speechless, lifeless. My husband put his hand on my lap and he said to me, don't worry, darling, everything will be okay. And that sort of comforted me. And he spoke to the surgeon, and we realized that I needed medical intervention ASAP. So I was scheduled for a lumpectomy. Thank goodness for Medshield, because they covered all my financial costs. It's quite draining having a life-threatening illness and all the psychological stress that you have to face as well. So knowing that your medical costs are covered is really, really awesome. It's a blessing. After that, it was time for surgery, and about 30 treatments of radiation. Things went well during that time. I connected with other women, and we just sort of somehow supported one another by encouraging one another and by telling one another that although it may be a life-threatening disease, cancer can be beaten. And I sit here today as a victor, not a victim. Although cancer tried to bring me to my knees, it actually brought me to my feet. I've become wiser in the process. I'm clear now. I've been clear for about 6 years. My whole life has changed after the diagnosis. I'm not the type of person that will stress the way I used to. I try to have a good, healthy, nutritional diet. Exercise is very important to me, believe you me, even at my age. I'm still attending the gym as well. And life has just become radiant. It's become more beautiful. I now have a purpose, and I now have a story to tell. Cancer is not the end of the road. It can become your springboard into something phenomenal. And I'm so glad that I can be used today as a crutch, as an inspiration to the community and to women out there, and just to let them know that it's not the end of the road. There is life after cancer.